For MFA Incorporated, I'm Tom Stever on Brownfield, talking with Thad Becker. Thad, tell me what's your position with MFA?
I'm the Precision Agronomy Manager for MFA Incorporated.
I want to talk to you about soil testing. Why is that important?
Soil testing is really important. I like to think of it as just general maintenance on our land, the things that we're growing crops for. I like to think of it as checking the oil in your tractor. We're basically looking to see what nutrients are available for our growing crop because we don't want that tank to run empty on us at grain fill time.
Talk about how farmers should go about soil testing, how often, how frequent on their field.
Yeah. So in general, we recommend every 4 years. That has a lot to do with how we build the recommendations, but we're more often is good, is okay, but in general, we like concept called grid soil sampling, which is part of the NutriTrack program, and to kind of balance the economics with and how we're building the recommendations, we like to do that every 4 years.
NutriTrack, you mentioned that. What is MFA's NutriTrack program and why is it important?
So NutriTrack is our premier nutrient management program. It's all about getting very good, very accurate soil tests. It's all based on a 2.5 acre grid sampling system and using accurate yield removal values to build the best recommendation we can. We can combine grid sampling with yield monitor crop removal to get a nutrient recommendation that's tailored to every single acre in that field.
Talk about how these recommendations are developed.
So we run off a concept. We use university-based equations as kind of the basis for the starting point for our equations. We use a build and maintenance concept, and what we're doing is we want to maintain fertilizer for every crop, so we're trying to put on what we remove in the grain at the end of the season, and then we use the soil test to tell us how much fertilizer we need to get to the optimum soil test level for that crop, so we don't run out as the season comes in.
Thad, you talked about grid sampling within a field. Why is that important, and what may a producer be missing?
So grid sampling, the reason we like the grid sampling approach is that there's a tremendous amount of variability across our fields in trade areas, what we've seen over the years. We've been grid sampling since the middle 90s, and it never ceases to amaze me just how much variability we can see, especially on something as simple as pH, where the one thing I see time and time again is the edge of a field along a gravel road. Every time a truck, car runs down that gravel road, they're in effect liming the field next to the gravel road. And we can see, 80% of the time we're going to see the grid sampling paid for just in lime savings, because very seldom do we need to put lime on that field border. But it is important that we do lime that field, because if we get a pH down in that mid to low 5 range, we can see big yield responses, especially soybeans and corn, alfalfa, any legume crops. You can see 20, 30, 40% yield reductions in some of those low pHs from year to year. And P&K is no different. We start getting in those very low soil test levels, those crops are going to be hurting year in and year out. And what we've been told over the years is that just how amazing it is sometimes to see those yields. Kind of that comment we get a lot is, I've never seen my field be so even across next season.
Talking about the tools that are available for farmers to use, there's the NutriTrack web portal. What is that, and how can that be used?
So as part of our program, we've got a website, we'll say a data management website called the NutriTrack web portal. In there, we can store all of our grower soil test information and any other information that they trust us with, whether that's yield data and planting information. Their soil type information is there. There's weather information, historical rainfall on a field by field. So really anything you can imagine that we can put in our precision software, we can get to the portal. So they've got one place to go, all the record keeping taken care of, one nice place to visualize what's happening on their field.
How does a farmer get signed up for NutriTrack?
Just go in and visit your local MFA. We've got precision reps throughout the state, and you just go in, tell them you'd like to get signed up, and they'll be happy to walk you through it. Real simple process. We're going to sit down with you, work through where your fields are, what they're named, and basically get out there and get some samples pulled for you and then get you set up.
Thank you, Thad. We've been talking with Thad Becker at MFA Incorporated. I'm Tom Stever on Brownfield.